Oh boy.
This is a nice crowd. Thank you all for being here. So we're going to switch things around here a little bit. And I am not going to talk for very long, but there's some things that I wanted you to hear. So, Spamalot is a very silly musical. Has anybody seen it? Yeah. So you have Dennis, the anti-monarchy activist. You have the Black Knight, only a flesh wound.
Yes.
Taunting French soldiers. Your mother is a hamster and your father smells of elderberries. And then you have the guy who follows King Arthur around clacking together coconut shells in imitation of horses' hooves. Yeah. Have you seen it yet?
I'm doing it right now.
Oh, all right. Okay, we have someone with us who has inside knowledge. And so the songs of Spamalot are just as silly as the overall theme. You have the player who protests that he's not yet dead. You have the Knights of the Round Table, chorus line stepping through, always look on the bright side of life.
Yes.
And then there's the ever famous Finland fish slapping song.
Yes.
Say that 3 times fast. Finland fish slapping song. Which is why I'm always caught off guard when we get to this one particular song. It's in keeping with the overall good humor of the musical, and at the same time it adds depth and breadth to the piece. The diva reaches out into the audience and challenges us with questions. And I'm speaking, of course, of the song, Find Your Grail. And according to the song, your grail is your highest value, that which prods you out of your comfort zone, challenges you, asks you hard questions about who you are and what you want. And each time I hear it, it catches at my throat and just aches my heart with longing. I wonder why it had that effect on me. And I realized it was because it is what I hope for A Spacious Place. That for each one of us, we would find our grail and we would discover what is most important to us. That's my hope for myself, and it's my hope for you. So what is your grail? I'll tell you. I don't know. But I can tell you how to start on a quest to find it, and that is to create. So how do we do the creative quest? We commence. You step over the threshold. It doesn't matter what you do. You could bake a loaf of bread, create a henna design, write or perform a diva song. In doing that and saying yes to creativity, we become valiant knights. But it takes courage. Picasso said, every time I endeavor to undertake to paint a picture, I feel as if I am leaping into space. I have no idea where my feet will land. Creating is scary, which is why when we introduce a new creativity project, we hear the words, I can't. And we say, well, first, let's, and step by step we move from I can't to I can to I did. And along the way, there are lots of choices. What song will I sing? What part will I audition for? What will I cook for supper tonight? And with every choice we make, we know ourselves a little bit better. And in knowing ourselves better, we have a better sense of what is our grail. And then we have to continue. Let's face it, sometimes creating is a real drag. You start out with this wonderful energy, enthusiasm, you know where your grail is heading, you're on your quest, and then somehow you end up in this quagmire. The colors are muddled, the knots are tangled, the lyrics sound trite. How in the world did we get here? Sometimes we have to turn around, go all the way back, and start over. And that's not wasted time either. Because now we have tested our mettle, and we know what we're willing to relinquish to get what matters most. And that brings us to clarity. So creating is risky business. We're going to try something we've not done before and in front of other people. It could be uncomfortable. We might feel like we failed, but guess what? We didn't. The only failure would be failing to try. And in making that choice to risk that, we have clarity about what matters most to us. And last, companions. We quest best. You saw, you know what that is? We quest best when we're accompanied. Because it's not just about us. The Grail is too big, we're too big for that to be the case. And even if other people are off on their own adventures, following their own paths, they are cheering us on and we are cheering them on. There's camaraderie, which is why at A Spacious Place, we create in community. Especially at this time in our nation, in our world with so much dissension, sitting across from someone, seeing a different perspective, giving or receiving help as needed, builds within us an appreciation for diversity. And on the creativity quest, diversity rocks. So we hope that you will join us on our creativity quest. And we have some options for you. We have courses from card making to collaging, an online course on my book On the Dark Night of the Soul. For students, we have our summer camp and our Young Artist Club. You can see lots of art around the room from our artists. And maybe you have something you'd like to suggest, either to teach or to take. If we have 5 participants, we will give it a green light. And there's a sign-up sheet there at the back at the greeters table. Or maybe you want to help somebody on their creativity quest. You've probably noticed in your program a scat of ways you can volunteer with A Spacious Place. And any of the board members or I would be more than happy to talk to you about that. I wanted to tell you one new thing we're starting next year. I'm calling it Scut Work Saturdays. A great deal of the work we do involves cleaning up, reorganizing, and prepping. So on Saturday afternoons from 2 to 6, first Saturday of every month, come and go, come and stay. We're going to be getting our hands in there and doing the scut work that it takes to create. So of course we need to hear the Find Your Grail song. And it's going to be accompanied by spacious folks on their creative quest. And then we're going to wrap up with a sing-along that I think you'll find familiar and I hope you find challenging. So here we go.